Welcome to another episode of Wealth Building Conference. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are listening to me. Today is another day. We're going to be talking about how to build trust sales in 2026. One thing that I know in this business is that, for us to get business, we must talk to people. Like, you must get lead. And one reasons why many people gave up their license is lack of consistent lead. Okay. It's either maybe they are talking to people are not listening to them. Maybe they are trying to close sales and clients is trying to push back. So there might be a couple of reasons why they are not able to close. But one thing that is missing that I find out in my experience during my practice is trust, right? When clients don't trust you, they don't buy from you. Now, how do you now build that trust in 2026 as you begin your journey in life insurance and financial services is what you're going to share tonight. So, okay, as you are joining me, please type your name and where you're joining from. If you are joining from Canada, for example, just type your first name and say Canada or any part of the world. We just want to know you, right? And if you have any question, please drop it on the comment sections. I'm going to attend to your question immediately after the program. Again, if you know anybody who is into sales, maybe financial planner, financial advisor, insurance advisor, real estate professional, mortgage agent, or you are selling coaches, you are just selling digital business, please send a link to them to join, right? We are streaming on all the social media platform on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We are streaming on those, so you can join us live on this program. I mean, it's usually every Friday from 8 p.m. EST to 9 p.m. It might not be up to 1 hour, but sometimes you probably may take 1 hour, but it's just a very short period of time just to educate ourselves on how to, take our business to the next level. So thank you so much for joining. So tonight I'm going to quickly pull up my slide. I'm going to the presentation. So we're going to be talking about building trust sales based in 2026. So basically, what we want to discuss today is how you can actually build trust in your business in 2026. So, and I want to let you know this, that in my experience, what I have seen mostly in my experience and in practice is that if clients don't trust you, they will not buy from you. If clients don't trust you, they won't buy from you. So advisors that scales, advisors that make substantial progress, substantial income is advisors that have trust and they build credibility. So we're going to discuss that today. So why the future belongs to those advisors who serve, not sales. So this is one thing that many people don't want in this in my experience. So people don't hate insurance, but they hate being sold, right? So in 2026, the agent who pushes product will struggle. The advisor who build trust will dominate. Now, anytime you are in front of a client and you appear too salesy, client can feel that and they are not going to buy from you. And I want you to imagine yourself like, picture some of the presentation that you've been doing with clients and you're trying to sell something to them, okay? The moment they feel that this person is trying to push a product to me, right? Either probably you want to make commission or you want to make, it might be for some, you have the reasons why you are pushing the product. But trust me, clients will not buy from you. But when you come from the angle of educated client, you want to add more value to that client's life, client can also feel that. But the question now is that what kind of advisors are you? Okay, as you've seen it in the presentation today, people don't hate insurance, they just hate being sold. I met a client yesterday and we're talking and he said, look, this same thing, somebody has actually showed it to me, but it got to a point and I feel that this this advisor is trying to sell something for me. And at that point, I feel like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. Can you give me more time? And let me go and think about it and I'll get back to you. Because why? He said, I felt he's trying to push that product to me, right? So if you are that kind of advisor, right, this is one thing I want you to please quickly take note of why so many agents are struggling. Number one, prospects are more informed and skeptical than never. See, the way clients are actually informed right now is way more, compared to 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Like, we have ChatGPT right now. Client can quickly go on ChatGPT and ask different types of life insurance, which one is better, what they really want, and all of that. So, they are more informed. They have more information than most of the insurance agents, most of the financial advisors, and they are kind of being skeptical. Like, they read so much and they come from the angle of, look, I know so much about insurance. I know so much about financial planning. I know so much about financial product. And for that reason, there's nothing you want to, tell me today that will make me to also say yes to you. Again, burnout from constant rejections and pressure. This is one thing that, another thing that many insurance agents actually struggle in. So our business is about talking to people. Like, every day we talk to people, you prospect, you invite clients to come and listen to your presentation. But you know what? There are a lot of rejections. So, right? So many advisors don't want to be rejected. And if you are not ready for rejection, you cannot stay in this business. And that's one thing that most people are struggling with. And the reason why, they are rejecting you, the reason why they are pushing you back is lack of trust. Because if you don't build trust, there is no client prospect that will buy from you, right? No relationship, short-term commissions, inconsistent income. Now, if you sell something to a client, all right, one-off, and you feel like, don't check on them, no policy review, no any conversation, client can feel that, right? Client will know, oh, this person has actually said something to me. So, maybe before you actually, present to them, you used to call them, you need to ask about their whereabouts and all of that. But immediately you settle that policy, if you sell the deal, you stop calling them. And you know what? They can feel all of that. Client will know that, oh, this person has actually fulfilled his aim, right? Yes, fulfill his objective. Now I can see that this advisor doesn't call me again. So if you're that advisor who just do one-off sales and you don't call, you don't follow up, you don't review with them, chances is that you will struggle. Because why? They will not refer other clients to you, because it's not about them right now. It's about the experience you give to them, that they can also relate to other family member. They can relate to their friends. Imagine if you treat them well, right? You follow up on them, you do policy with them, you call them, you send greetings to them, you send, season greetings to them. So it will make them to feel that, oh, these clients, these advisors really have my interest in mind. Unlike the advisor that just sell, right, make the commission and just go. So if you don't want to struggle in 2026, you have to understand that the business is not about just one sales, it's about building relationship. If you don't build relationship, you cannot succeed in this business. Because why? If you build relationship, you make yourself extremely referable to other clients out there, right? Most agents don't quit because they are bad in sales. They quit because they are bad in trust, right? If no person trusts you, if the client doesn't trust you, you cannot scale. The biggest mistakes in insurance sale, right? These are the biggest mistakes that I've seen in my practice. Number one, you lead with features, talk too much, pitch before diagnosis. When it comes to insurance, insurance is a product that has its unique, characteristics and features. And if you want to do it in a proper way, there's what called needs-based selling. So, meaning that before you actually present or recommend a product to your client, you must have done what you call financial analysis. Ask for their income, for their debt, they have children in university, maybe they have mortgage and all of that. Because you cannot just continue to say, hey, this is a different types of life insurance. And that's what I see most advisors do, right? They talk about different types of life insurance. I mean, a client doesn't really care about what life insurance. They don't care about the type of life insurance. They care about what life insurance can do for them, which is if they're sick, they have money, in terms, to take care of themselves. Maybe they have critical illness. Maybe they are disabled. They have enough income. Maybe they retire. They also have enough, to supplement their retirement income, maybe pension or whatever. That is what the client wants to hear from you. Not just talk about product features, talk about whole life, talk about universal life insurance, talk about life insurance, term insurance. Clients don't really want to hear that, right? So if you are that advisor that usually talk about features of a product, clients will not actually buy from you. Again, you talk too much. Many of us, we dominate the presentation in such a way that you don't even allow the client to talk. You just talk, 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 you talk, and it got to a point that a client will say, you know what, I'm going to get back to you. I have something to do. Again, you don't diagnose, like you don't do your needs-based selling. If you don't do your need-based sellings and you just recommend something to a client can feel that you said something to me. Imagine you have a process in place that from one point, from the time you start the presentation, you take them through the process, you arrive at a conclusion. They will trust that advisor more than someone that just come and talk and just say, this is life insurance, you just need to buy $500,000 of life insurance, and you need to pay $500 per month. Than somebody who say, okay, what is your budget? Can you really afford this? Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the debt. Let's look at your mortgage. If you have maybe car loan, if you have children in universities, and look at the asset as well. You can see the difference, right? So if you are that type of advisor, you're going to struggle. You cannot really build, scale in 2026. Now, I'm being convinced this is about their commission. What prospect feel it is like? I'm being convinced. Like, many of us have that notion as right. I remember before I joined the business, when they presented to me, I also feel the same way, right? Like, oh, this person wants me to buy life insurance so that he can make the commission out of my sales. But you know what? If you disclose from the beginning that, look, I'm a commission agent, if I serve you, the company that I represent will pay me. You don't need to disclose how much you want to get, but let them know. Because if you set that presentation right from the beginning, the client will understand that, oh, this person is really trying to. Don't convince them. A lot of people feel that, oh, I need to convince client before they buy. You don't need to convince. All you need to do is to educate them. And education comes in form of let them understand different types of life insurance, the risk that associated with it, and the failure for not taking action at the time you are proposing that product to them. Now, for example, I have a client. I met a client in 2021. When I started my business, I presented to him, and he said, "I'm going to think about it. I'll get back to you." Thereafter, down the line, I was told that the client died without life insurance policy. This is why I do what I do, right? I'm not just doing it because I want to make. Imagine if that client have taken that, that day we have put protection in place and something happened to the client along the line. Imagine what the family would be like today, like, having that money they need when the breadwinner is no more. Right. So it is not about the commission. You don't need to convince anybody. Just make sure you educate them. And most advisors, the reason why they are struggling, the reason why they are not closing is because they are trying to convince people rather than to educate them on the need for them to protect their life. Again, no trust, no sales, no referral. If they don't trust you, there is no way you can have a sales, and of course you cannot be referred. Imagine if a client trusts you, right, and he buy from you, chances is that he will refer more clients to you. The client that I met yesterday was telling me that, look, the person that referred me to you, right, is somebody I respect so much because it's very trustworthy, is this, is that. So I don't even present so much. Why? Because it's coming from a referral. Somebody refer him to me, like, just go and meet this person. Is going to recommend the right product to you. It's going to give you the right protection. It's going to help you explain the features of the product, explain what you are into to you, and the risk associated with the product. That is why I was able to close it. In fact, it doesn't even take me time before I even finish. They said, look, I was referred to you, so I don't have any problem. Somebody has shared this with me, right? But because of the trust that I have in that person, right? Because of the fact that I'm talking to somebody like from my community, because I also see what you are doing, you are very transparent. That is why I'm able to, say, I want to do this with you. And he said, look, you know what? If I have friends and family member, I will equally refer them to you, if they need life insurance or any form of financial services. The cost of not building trust. Like, according to LIMRA, over 80% of new insurance agents quit within 3 to 5 years The reason is not lack of consistent lead. The reason is number one, high rejection in sales, lower client retention, and few referrals. This is why many insurance agents quit within the first 3 years of the business. And you agree with me, right? Our raw material is human being. Like, we deal with people, for us to do our business. But if you don't build trust, if you don't have consistent leads, if nobody refer client to you, right? If you don't have high retention rate, chances is this, right, that you will give up your life. Because if you don't make sales, how will you proceed? Especially if you are doing this business full time, how do you pay your bills? That is why you, as an insurance agent, you must build trust as we proceed in 2026. Trust-based advisor and 2 to 3 more referral, more lifetime client value. If you build trust me, client, they will refer you, they will continue to refer client to you. And I've seen that. I met a medical professionals in Abada, and he said, Mr. Fasola, what you did for me, I love it. I'm going to refer you to another medical professional. That is what trust can build for you. That is what trust can give you in this business. Like, just make sure that you don't need to convince them, educate them. Recommend the right product to them. Don't sell to them because you want to make quick commission, right? And once you do that, do your own due diligence, take them through the process, close the deal, ask for, look, do you have anybody in your network that need that you can actually tell them about what I'm sharing with you today? Yes, okay, just give me their number. I will talk to them. If there's something that they want to do, I'm going to help them to set it up. So that is how to build trust. What trust builds really means. What does trust-based sales really mean? Number one, you listen before speaking. You diagnose before recommending. Like, guys, don't jump on a call with your client and start saying you have to buy insurance of this and that, right? Conduct your financial analysis. Take them through the needs-based selling before you recommend any product to them. You know what? You save yourself from huge chargeback. You also build credibility, trust, and reputation. Because why? They will trust you than somebody who say, just sign here. I've seen a lot of advisors in the past. Like, I've met a lot of clients that say, I don't even know what I don't even know what I signed for. Like, some advisor, immediately they sell to them, they ghost the client. They don't call the client again. They don't, no policy review, no checking on the client. And you know what? They know that because the reason why you are calling them in the first place is because you want to sell to them. How would they refer client to you? Right? Educate, don't convince. Position yourself as a guide, not a salesperson. Now, you are a guide, right? Your own is to sit them down, give them options, right? Show them different ways in which they can protect their life. If a client is telling you that I have a low budget, right, and it's still pretty new in the country, term insurance is there that you can do, right? If they have more, maybe they have more budget, they have enough disposable income, yeah, recommend something. But the point I'm trying to make is that recommend products that fit their budget, that they can afford, because it does not make any sense for you to put in the product today, maybe 6 months down the line, the client said, I want to cancel, I'm not interested again, or I cannot afford it anymore. I've seen that in the past. Like, client will say, look, they just asked me. I was talking to somebody today, and he said, when I wanted to have my life insurance policy, the advisor said, I have to pay $500 per month. And I told the advisor, I said, I can't pay $500 per month. I can only afford $200. Imagine that. Now, if the client says, okay, put $500, maybe 5 months down the line, the client say, I can't afford $500. What is going to happen to the policy? Is that the client reduce? And when the client reduce, it's going to harm the client in future, because why? The projection you put in the first place will not work once the client reduce. The client, the policy might lapse later in life. And these are the things that the regulator is talking about. Be fair to your client, right? Do something that you know for sure that if I'm the person, if they turn the table, if they do it for me, fine, I will accept that. But If you know that what you are doing to a client, you can't accept it, why are you doing it? Why do you have to tell the client to just sign? Why do you have to push a product to a client when you know that the client cannot afford it? It's ridiculous. And that is why a lot of insurance agents today, they quit, they give up the license. Again, build relationship over fast commission. Like I've seen that, right? What I'm telling you, most of the clients that we have, they are the one referring other clients. To have clients 3-4 years ago that we that every year we meet them, we review the policy with them, and we ask them, do you have anybody in your network that can, that need of a service? We give them, give us the numbers. We're going to call them and show them. And we are not doing anything like serious. We just want to position the product to them, present to them, educate them on why life insurance is very key to their family, why they also need to save some money towards their retirement, knowing fully well that the pension cannot really take care of their needs when they retire, right? So this is what we do. And we did I did a policy review in 2025, my wife, right? And that client referred 8 clients to us. 8, just one client. Imagine that. That is what trust can build in, because the husband has been our client for the past 3-4 years. So when we did policy review with the husband, they saw the policy, they saw the growth, and they felt, oh, I think I need to do this for myself. I need to do this for my wife and my children. Okay. You are not selling insurance. You are helping people make confident decisions about their future. That's what you are doing. You are a guide. You're not to push any product to them. Okay. These are the 5 pillars of trust-built sales. Number 1, authority through education. Teach people before you pitch. Use stories, not jargon. Story sells a lot, right? Don't pitch to them, like educate them, right? How many children do you have? This is how much you need if you want to go to university if life happens. This is your mortgage. Who is going to cover this mortgage? This is your income. We need to replace this income for the next 20 years. We need to put this in place in case life happens, for the final expense and all of that. That's what the client wants to know. They don't really care about this is a term insurance. No, you don't need to do that, right? Use stories. Like, I used to tell my client this, right? I have a client, I present it to them, and it said, I want to think about it. Before they know what is happening, their insurability change. It happens a lot in this business. It happens. I presented to a client. He said, I'm going to get back to you the following week. The following week, the person that referred him called me and said that particular person, insurability is not insurable again. So these are the things that happen, and that is why you, as an agent, right, your job, your role is to show them why it is important for them to take action now. Ask better questions. Let client talk 70% of the time. Please ask probing questions. Don't start dominating the presentation. You are not going anywhere. You are not going to close. As a matter of fact, you are making your job more complex if you dominate the presentation. Allow them to talk. Let them close themselves. Ask them questions that will lead to a close. Okay, you know that you have children, right? How will you feel if for some reasons you can't come back to that house tomorrow? Do you know that the bread eaters will start struggling financially? So, okay, do you really love your family? Yes. Now, how do you now protect them in such a way that if anything happened to you, they can continue to live their life? Ask them questions. Don't start talking. Don't start, pitching something to them. Explain pros and cons. Honestly say, this may not be the right for you. Like, if you meet a client, every client has unique needs. Okay. So if you are recommending solutions to them, make sure that that solution fits their needs. All right. Explain the pros. If you are recommending, for example, term insurance, okay, this is term insurance. This is term 20. Okay. The first 20 years, this is your premium, $100. After 20 years, it's going to come to maybe $3,000 per annum, $20,000 per annum. Can you afford this? Right? If it's okay by you, let's go. Okay, this is a universal life insurance policy. Okay, it's a cash value. You can assess the cash value later in life, but let them know the interest rate is not guaranteed. The market might fluctuate. Depends on the the force of demand and supply, but let them know that if they stay consistent long term, it's going to pay off at the end of the day. If you are putting up a whole life insurance solution, let them know that this is a guarantee policy. All right. Let them know the pros and cons. What I'm trying to say is that if you are recommending any solutions to any client, make sure you let them see the risk, the pros, and the benefit of those products or the solutions you are recommending to them. Okay. Now, share why you do this work, human beat perfect. Like I've seen families, right, because of one illness, wipe out their savings. I've seen people that have so much money, and when disability occur, they couldn't do anything again. Guys, this is why I do what I do. It's not because of the money. Let your clients know that, right? It's just at the end of the day, the client will understand why you are doing this. I've seen people, while they are alive, they have cancer. They couldn't walk, but the critical illness they have is what saved them. So all of this is something that make me to still stay in the business. It's not about the commission. It's not about the money. But knowing fully well that I will put smile in somebody's face if life take unexpected dive is what make me to stay committed and still continue to talk to people, and I will still continue to do this. Why are you in the business? What is your motivation? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for money? Do you just want to sell and make quick commission? Do you just want to just push product to people? Guys, that is not the way to do this business. And you know what? That's at the end of the day, at the time, if you don't do it right, you're also calling for chargeback. Put in the business, you don't call the client, you don't follow up, you don't do policy review. One day client will just wake up and say, I'm just paying you. I'm just going to cancel this. They'll just cancel. And that's when some of our advisors start calling them. Don't wait until they cancel. Call them, review with them. Show them the reason why you're in the business. Last, consistency and credibility. Follow up even when there is no sale. Show up after the policy is issued. You know what? What will save you mostly is don't wait for your client call. Because if they call you, it might mean something else. They might call you to cancel. So before they call you, call them, right? You set up the policy. After like few months, hey, I just want to check on you. How's the family? Hope everything is fine. Hope everything is okay. Well, I just want to check on you. If you have any question, I'm here. Please let me know. Thank you. Have a nice day. Every year, send policy review to them. Even if they didn't show, even if they, we have thousands of clients, right? And we must make sure that we send an email to them for policy review. It doesn't really matter whether they show up or not. It's even part of the regulatory requirement for me as an insurance advisor to make sure that I follow up with my client and see how they are doing, because their needs might change. It's what they have. Things might change. They might have more children. They might buy more houses. They might buy more cars and all of that. I need to check with them, review with them. If there is need for me to increase the coverage, if there is need for me to add more, maybe change beneficiary, update the address. That is why I am doing this. How I help agents build trust. So, in the past, right, I know a lot of advisors that, what they do is just to call people and convince them. And I used to tell my advisor, you don't need to convince anybody, right? I shifted agent from script selling to conversation selling. And this really, really, really helped a lot. I've seen my advisor that say, look, because of the fact that I use this approach, I've been able to get more referral from my client, right? I diagnose the problem. So instead of me to start calling them, instead of me to start pitching them, instead of me to start, pushing product to them, right? I ask them probing questions, do the need-based selling, conduct financial need analysis, recommend the product, make sure it aligns with their budget, make sure it aligns with their affordability, and that's what changed everything for me, right? I explain simply, like, you don't need to like use big grammars. Very simple in a clear form. Let them know right? Don't model up things. Don't try to explain, use big grammars. Explain in a very clear terms to them why they want to do what they want to do. And I lead with service. No pressure, all right? Just guidance. If I present to you and you feel like, oh, I need to think about it, of course, the question I will ask is, what exactly, which area are you not really clear that you want me to explain more? Or do you have any concern that you need to address? Or maybe do you have anything in mind that you want us to do? Maybe the budget is that maybe the amount is too much. You can downgrade if you don't have this one right now. I mean, if they ask question, the reason why they raise objection is because something is not really clear. They want you to address some issues, but because we don't take our time to understand where they are coming from, we don't take time to probe, to ask them questions. The minute they say, I'm going to think about it, or maybe I'll get back to you, we just leave them. No, you have to ask probing questions, right? Agents stopped chasing clients. Clients started asking for advice. Like, if you do it in the right way, I tell you, sir, you make yourself extremely referable to other clients. This is the six-figure result. And I'm telling you, this works. I have advisors that join me in 6 months that makes 6 figures, right? I have advisors in my team that make 6 figures in 12 months, 100,000, 200,000 in 12 months rolling. And this is the same approach they use. They don't push product to them. They don't push product to their client, right? They don't convince anybody. They don't sell futures. What they simply do is to diagnose, recommend the solution that fits their needs, that fit their budget, right? So they also get more referral because why? If you do it in the right way, right, you will get more referral. It is easier for you to service your client well, get more referral from them than to start chasing new clients. It's much easier. It's cheaper. So if you do it in the right way, go back to your bulk business, call them, review with them. They will refer people to you. And do you know that it's going to increase your closing rate as well? Because these are coming from people that you already presented to. They are your client. So they've been with you. So they have good experience with you. I was talking to somebody yesterday and he said, look, I have an advisor here that it's not in my team, but maybe with another team. Like, he's trying to, like, the person that referred him said, I've been calling them to cancel. Why? Because the experience I have with my advisor right now is not fantastic. That's not too good. Now, that advisor didn't know that, oh, very soon he's begin to receive chargeback. But I told him, I said, look, instead of you to be calling them, why can't you call the advisor and address that specific things that you want him to address instead of you to call other advisor, because it's going to cost a run. So, and I tried to say, look, please don't call them. If you have anything that you are not getting, like you are not getting enough, feelings, you are not really getting enough attention from your advisor, please call him and let him know, instead of you to be calling out people to go and cancel, to go and pause their premium. Trust compound faster than commission. That is what, that is the business for you. Why 2020 reward trust-based advisor? Your competitive advantage is number one, empathy. Please empathize anytime you are in front of a client. If a client tells you, so, well, it's things are really going on with me. Maybe we know what is happening in Canada today, right? Inflation, so many people are losing their job. Empathize with them. Don't feel that you're not concerned. Oh, clients say, well, I lost my job. Oh, I totally understand. I've been in that. I've lost my job in the past, and I know how painful it is. Well, I really, I share in your pains, and I know that very soon, tough time don't last. Things like that, right? Show them that you care. That's what empathy means, right? Clarity. Make sure you explain in a clear, simple language. Don't model up things. Don't use big grammars. Client doesn't really care about your grammar. What they want is clarity. A confused buyer will never buy, right? Make sure you show them why they need to do certain things, explain everything to them, show them the pros and cons, guide them to take that decision, right? And of course, and relationship, build relationship, right? Build relationship. You don't need, you sincerely speaking, if you build relationship, trust me, you will never run out of client. You will never run out of lead. And I'm telling you what is happening to me. Like I've experienced that. I have never, like, the clients I used to call them, they even, the idea would be they want to call me, say, Fasola, I have somebody that's going to call you, please help me to set up insurance. He's looking to buy term insurance, he's looking to buy travel insurance, he wants to set up, maybe non-registered investment. They just, all you need to do is just to be good and build credibility. They will refer people to you. People don't need more options. They need someone they trust. That is this. So if you are done chasing clients, all right, if you are done chasing clients and you want to build consistent income, you want to get more referrals, you want people to be refer, their client to you, and you want to present with confidence instead of you pressurizing your client, and you want to build career that lasts long, not burnout. So we actually have a coaching session where I guide my advisors on what to do and how to close sales, build trust in 2026. All right, the question is now, in 2026, it's not that you can't sell, it's just that, can people trust you? That's profound. Can people trust you? If they can't trust you, right, and you are struggling to build trust, join my trust-based sales coaching, right? And you can scan the QR code here, right? We're going to guide you step by step on what to do, on how to build your business in 2026. So thank you so much for joining my session today. It's been a very fantastic session. I really want to appreciate everyone that joined. If you have any question, please let me see the comment section, right? Any question? Okay. I don't think there's any question. So I really want to appreciate everybody that joined tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to have another session on critical illness and disability planning for medical professionals and business owners. So if you want to learn, or any medical professionals that want to build what need to protect his practice, let them join the session tomorrow. So we're going to dive into another topic. So see you tomorrow, and good night, everyone. Bye for now.